Well, good evening, everyone. It's Robert Forgit. Hopefully you're having a great day. Yep, I'm meteorologist Robert Forgit. I'm here in the Alaska News Source Weather Center. Hopefully you're having a nice weekend wherever you are. We do get people that watch from all over the country, and I appreciate that. It's always good to have people from everywhere from Idaho to Minnesota to Arizona, even Hawaii every once in a while. So it's good to have you. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the weather. I always like to talk a little bit about South Central first because that way those that are just interested in South Central weather can go and do what else they want to do for the evening. But certainly like to have you. We do have some factoids tonight as well. Want to show you town right now. We're getting a little bit of fog out there. Hey, MJ, nice to have you here from Los Angeles, California. And Michael, thanks from Anchorage. Appreciate you being with us. So great to have you as part of this cast. You're looking downtown Anchorage, way off in the distance. That is the lights of our small community. And we have been seeing fog because we've seen single digits tonight. And here is our daylight hours. A lot of people ask, how much daylight do you get? Well, right now we don't get a lot. And as soon as we hit, of course, December 21st, everything will increase as far as daylight. So very exciting about that. But right now, tomorrow will be at 6 hours, 52 minutes. 9:18 will be our sunrise. Sunset 4:11, 4 minutes and 42 seconds lost. And thank goodness that's all we've lost. Hey, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what this week brings. We're going to see some warmer temperatures. We've been in the single digits here as our high today and expecting to be in the teens tomorrow. So I'm going to bring you back to here, and I'm going to look for my my remote control, which I need, and we'll get started. So what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at cold weather to end. When I say cold weather here in Anchorage, I'm talking about at least getting out of the single digits. New weather system is moving in from the southeast panhandle, and as it does, we expect those single digits to go away. And we have a lot of wind in not only the Mat-Su Valley, but also in Knik Arm and Cook Inlet tomorrow. We could see winds to about 50 miles an hour, blowing snow in Anchorage. And we're going to see also blowing snow along Cook Inlet all the way down the western part of the Kenai Peninsula. And then precipitation. Yep, we're looking for some warm temperatures. So there's going to be a mix of snow and rain, and I'll explain that in a minute. Nancy, nice to have you from Arkansas in the Pascagoula. We've got Marlene, Dayton, Nevada. Marie, thank you for being with us. Boy, we love having people from the lower 48 states on our Facebook page so we can share the interesting weather we have here. This morning, I'll tell you, I had a moose just outside our window and eating all the berries off of our tree, kind of chewing down our plants. They love to munch on plants, especially the ones that cost the most amount of money. So that's what we've seen. Hey, let's go ahead and see what we have right now. Now, you're looking downtown. Yeah, what you're looking at is those lights just above or below right now. That is 36th Avenue, and way off in the distance you see those two lights on top of that building. That is downtown. You know, it's not super big here, but we certainly enjoy having a place to go in Anchorage and Midtown, and then all our folks up in the valley and Wasilla, Palmer, Talkeetna. All those communities are so unique. If you haven't been to Alaska, get up here. It is wonderful. We are at 5 degrees. Speaking of wonderful, we're glad to have at least 5 digits of the thermometer. The winds are east 6 miles per hour. These winds, as I mentioned to everyone, are going to pick up tomorrow for South Central. Talking about the Mat-Su, where there's a blizzard warning. We're not expecting snow. We're expecting the snow that's there to blow. And because it's going to be so windy, visibility may be pretty significantly reduced, as well as we could get some snow drifts. And we're expecting the same thing here in Anchorage. Maybe not 70 miles an hour as expected perhaps tomorrow as gusts in the evening, but here maybe 50 mile an hour winds. As we go ahead and look, here are all those watches and warnings. Brandon, thanks for being with us from Wasilla. Nice to have Bernice from Valdez. Thanks for joining us tonight. So the blizzard warning, as we zoom in a little bit again, it's the Matsu Valley that we're talking about. Starts at 9 a.m., goes to 6 a.m. on Tuesday, and then Kinnick Arm and Cook Inlet could see gusts to about 50 miles an hour. And that will end tomorrow as we continue through our day. Other places in Alaska, we are looking at a blizzard warning in Juneau, a winter storm warning up in the northern part of the southeast panhandle, and we're seeing high wind warnings down in the lower part of the southeast panhandle and Ketchikan area with winter weather advisories thrown in between there. So lots of moisture moving up, and the reason for that is a low pressure system that is moving up our way. Let's talk about that looking ahead. Hey, Gary, nice to see you from Fairbanks joining us. And as we look, you can see that low. It's a little off position. we put these graphics together, but as I set it in motion, there's the low pressure system, and you can see how tight those lines are. Those are pressure gradient lines. The tighter they are, imagine that the tighter they are, the steeper it is. So where the low pressure is, going to high pressure, which is really over us in the interior section of Alaska, that creates those wind differentials, because guess what? High pressure and low pressure want to basically become balanced. That's why when you have a balloon and you blow it up, there's high pressure in that balloon, low pressure outside the balloon, and when you let the air out, that high pressure becomes the same as the atmospheric pressure outside the balloon, and you have stability. But when this moves up, as you can see it's going to do, as we get into Monday, you're looking at rain with snow in advance of that where the colder air is, and then as it pushes through on Monday into Tuesday, we're going to continue to see that rotation around that low pressure system. It's counterclockwise, and I say that because, as I mentioned last week, when you have counterclockwise, this is a great state of Alaska, and when you have counterclockwise rotation, it brings in the cooler air on the top of that low pressure system as it moves up. So a lot of moisture and a lot of cooler air comes down. If the low pressure moves into the Gulf of Alaska and spins this way, then you get that southerly flow of warm air that replaces and displaces that colder air, and then we find that snow changes to rain, and that's probably what's going to happen a little bit later this week. Not out of the storm that's over in the Kamchatka Peninsula, because watch, that one will move out. That other one that we were just talking about in the southeast moves out, and we're talking about Wednesday, but we're going to have some residual snow in south central in Wednesday. But then as we continue on, we expect to see another system move in, probably just in time for Thanksgiving, and that could bring us a mixture of rain and snow. Georgia, nice to have you from Nulato. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Nick, nice to have you. And he says he's in Leveluk, but he's from Dillingham, so good. Utiavik, thanks. Foster, appreciate you being on. Looks like Kill-Ann is from Kenai. Nice to have Kenai on board. Nice. Hey, let's go ahead and look and see what we have. I want to talk about the snowfall a little bit. We're not going to expect a lot in the way of snowfall in the next 48 hours. So watch these numbers, and you can see we're only looking about 1 or 2 inches, 2 to 4 inches in Chittenden, 1 to 2 in McCarthy. Whittier, not going to see too much. We might see a trace, maybe an inch as we get into Tuesday. But the key message in this is pretty much for South Central, still looking at precipitation in the form of snow, even in Seward. But then things will change, as I mentioned. So for the southeast part of Alaska, again, a blizzard warning for Juneau. We'll see temperatures in the 20s, much cooler than it's been. 41 for Ketchikan tomorrow. Notice those winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. That's why they have a wind warning down there. And then as we move into the central or interior part for our friends in Fairbanks, as we just talked about, you'll be at about 13, kind of mild conditions, but you do have a wind advisory for the north and southern part of Denali, and then also we're looking at the eastern Alaska range having a wind advisory. Delta going to see gusts to 25, but Healy should be about southeast at 5. That wind advisory should stop by the end of tomorrow. On the slope, looking at temperatures in the 30s for Utiavik, 24 in Wainwright. Dead Horse coming in at 13. You'll still see some scattered snow showers, both in Utiavik and in Dead Horse. Going to see mostly cloudy skies, but some freezing fog. For the western part of Alaska, mostly sunny. Temperatures in the 20s, but 30 expected, 33 in Nome, 35 in Gamble, and Bethel come in at 22. So Wasilla's in the house, I see. Daniel, thank you for joining us. Agnik, I hope I said that right. Point Lay, hopefully I said that right. I think it's Agnik, but I'm not sure. Florida, from Georgia. That's an interesting name. Grew up in Florida, so nice to have you here from Georgia. Hey, watching from Colorado, Bill, thank you for joining us. Mohammed, thank you for being here in Anchorage. And let's see, we got Nikolai, Phil from Nikolai. Boy, it's nice to have everyone here. Wasilla, Sheila just joined us. Nice to have you. Let me look and see if I missed anybody. Phil from Nikolai, Marlene, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Nulato, again, Georgia, thank you for your Thanksgiving work. Let's go ahead and out to the Aleutian chain we go for the forecast, and we are looking for some sunshine, but windy conditions, gusting to 30 out in Adak, 35 in Unalaska. St. Paul, going to be gusting to 45 miles an hour with rain expected. So, hey, Joanne, nice to have you on board from Anchorage. Thanks for being here. And we're going to get into the south central area, and as I mentioned, windy. Could see gusts to about 40 to 50 miles an hour. Kenai, Homer might share some of that wind, but right now looking about a northeast wind 10 to 20. Gusting to about 25 in Soldotna as you're kind of around the curve from Kenai. Kodiak will be windy. You'll see some sunshine and gusts to 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour expected. In Seward, those winds coming out of the north, for people that have boats that are at the harbor there, make sure you're all tied down because those are pretty strong gusts of wind. Hey, Sheila, say happy birthday to me. Well, happy birthday, Sheila. Sheila Marie having a birthday on Tuesday. Happy birthday to you. And hello from Pennsylvania. Wow, I almost had a weather job in Pennsylvania. Olinga, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. And I hope it said Matreka. I hope that's right. From Marshall, thanks. Joanne from Anchorage. So now April's joined us from Hoonah. Hey, so let's look at Prince William Sound. We talked about it. Again, windy conditions, Whittier, Valdez, also in Cordova, as we see this front move up, this whole system move up from the southeast panhandle. And for the Mat-Su, again, a blizzard warning starts at 9 a.m. And as I mentioned, it will end the next day on Tuesday. And we are looking for some sunshine, but some windy conditions, especially in Palmer and Wasilla. The 50-mile-an-hour gusts are for tomorrow, but by tomorrow night, those winds could get a little bit stronger. We have Anne on the line from Australia. Wow, but her home is in Bethel. But thanks for joining us from Australia. Beautiful country, been there. Sydney, did some diving when up in Cairns, and loved the Barrier Reef. Been to Hamilton Island too. Pretty nice there. Boy, I love Australia. Pretty fun. Hey, Anchorage, we talked about the sunny but also the windy conditions. We could see that wind blowing around and causing some blowing snow. Our high tomorrow, though, 17. Glad to be back in the teens. And for Girdwood, looking at 22. I think what we'll do right now with this forecast is I'll do the 7-day in just a bit, but I've got two factoids for you tonight. One for Thanksgiving and one that we did on Friday. So I want to see how well you can guess. Now, if you watched Friday and you know the answer, that's cheating a little bit, but it's about November. And our first factoid is the month of November was in the original calendar of Romulus, who was our first ruler of Rome. How many months were in this calendar? November was in the original calendar, but was it 8 months? 9? Oh, I gave it away. 8 months, 9 months, or 10 months. I can't believe it. Joe Cadot's laughing at me because I did that. So I just changed my graphic. So, okay, so I'll give you a hint. It's 10 months. And Julius Caesar in 46 BC, I'm in trouble, Joe. Julius Caesar in 46 BC, of course, introduced the Julian calendar. And when he did, it changed everything to 12 months. The hint in there is November. Novem is 9, and December is 10. So if you knew a little bit of Latin, you might have gotten that one. Let's hope I put pauses in the next one. So here we go. Let's see what we come up with. I hope I got this one right. We'll see. So as we move forward, I know. Everybody's learning something new every day. Thank you, Marla. So, Atka, way out there. Teresa, thanks for joining. Anatuvik Path, Pete, thanks for being there. Norvik, we got Charlie, Ann, again in Australia. Here we go. Let's see if I get this one right. I sure hope I do. I hope it even moves forward. Maybe it doesn't. There we go. All right. So here's the one for Thanksgiving. What president decreed Thursday, November 26th, as a day of public thanksgiving? Was it George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, William McKinley, or Theodore Roosevelt? I want you to go ahead and take a guess at that. Now, this is when he decreed that we would have a day of Thanksgiving. And so go ahead and take your guesses. Do you think it's George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, William McKinley, or Theodore Roosevelt? Let's see if we have anybody that wants to guess. Darlene, thanks for being here from Nikiski. Lloyd, appreciate it from your couch. That's a good place to be hanging out. So let's see if you can guess our Forgit factoid. Is it A, was it decreed by President Washington that we'd have a public day of Thanksgiving on the 26th, which was a Thursday, or Thomas Jefferson, William McKinley, or Theodore Roosevelt? Sheila's guessing D, and got Phil saying hi to Nat and Natalia. Darty's guessing D, thinking it's Theodore Roosevelt. Let's see who else we have. Hey, Tyonic, thanks, Eileen from Tyonic. D, Mohammed's going, a lot of people going with D, Theodore Roosevelt. We've got D with Marla, too. Boy, I don't know what you guys are looking at, but that's good. You got D. Jeff's thinking it's Theodore Roosevelt. Going to give it a few more minutes here. Matthew, you came up with C, William McKinley, and D for Amber. Again, what president decreed Thursday, November 26th, as a day of public Thanksgiving? Was it George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, William McKinley, or Theodore Roosevelt? Kim comes in with A, George Washington, all right. Eileen, C. Okay, Amber, you're at D. Anybody else want to take a guess before we go and answer this question? Nice to have everyone on board. Appreciate you being here. Darlene came up with B. Benny came up with D. Kim's got A. A for Brian as well. Got a few more George Washingtons now. I got an A. Emma. Normandy coming up with A. Maybe you guys are starting to think twice about your answers. You can do that. And I'm going to give you about another 30 seconds, and hopefully you'll get it right. I don't know about you, but I love Thanksgiving. I love cooking for Thanksgiving. I think it's a great holiday. It's an anticipation of the season. I probably like it more than any other holiday, and I love getting around the table and just having some good meals, and then, of course, falling asleep. So, okay, the last chance to get what you want. Here we go. Nancy says it's D. A for Linda. Larry, you're saying, is it going to snow? Where are you, Larry? If you're in town here, I'll tell you in just a minute. C, April, C, D, and Ann, and Georgia coming in today. I'm going to give the answer, and as I do, here we go, and let's see what you come up with. What president decreed Thursday, November 26th, as a day of public Thanksgiving? And the answer is George Washington did it. Now, the one thing you need to know is even though George Washington did decree it, it was only on that day back in 1759 that it was on a Thursday, the 26th. So if you notice at the bottom, the last Thursday in November was what we celebrate now, and that was because President Abraham Lincoln in 1863 decided, let's do it then. And it should be noted that a lot of people tried to even change that date, but that is the official date that we have now, and great holiday. And with that, I want to answer a question. If you're talking about Anchorage, I want to answer a question about snow, and here's what we have for snow. So tomorrow we're looking at some blowing snow here in Anchorage. No new snow, just the snow on the ground. 18, as I said, things are going to warm up, mostly cloudy. 25 on Tuesday, which will be nice. And then we get into the 30s again with the nighttime lows in the 20s. And frankly, if we can just hold on to the snow, it'll be great to get out on the ski trails and also fat bike. But we are looking for snow showers on Wednesday. I believe we'll see some AM snow on Thursday, followed by a mixture of rain and snow in the afternoon. And then lingering on Friday, we might see a little bit of snow or rain, just depends on that temperature. So we are back in a flux of a little bit warmer conditions, and I'm really glad that we're having that. So again, the forecast for warmer, but again, tomorrow windier. And appreciate, it looks like Brian got the answer, so did Linda. She looks like she's clapping. I do want to say a couple things, as I always do, and that is give yourself some grace, give others some grace, and be kind. I think we all could use that. And I'll probably see you Friday night on the air. If you're watching, we'd love to have you. I'll be on Friday night right after Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll have another Thanksgiving factoid or a Black Friday factoid, and then I'll be here next weekend, and we'll do this again next Sunday. So please have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy this holiday. There's so much that we have to be thankful for. When you look at other countries, boy, we live in a great country, and we certainly enjoy our holidays, and Thanksgiving is one that we just take a minute to pause and enjoy that special occasion with our family and friends. So I thank you for being here tonight and joining me in this. I love doing this. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you've enjoyed being here. I'll get my second factoid better next time. And again, be safe. Watch where you're walking. It's very slippery. We got a lot of ice on the ground, a lot of snow. Drive safely, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Good night.